Hi everyone, Stacy Whiter here on behalf of Campus Mortgage with part 2 of this two-part video series, Reg Z, Ability to Repay and Qualified Mortgage Refresher. Now just a quick reminder before we get started, this video is for informational purposes only and should not be considered legal advice or used in place of the CFPB guidelines. Also, this video was created on March 6, 2017, and the information contained in this video is subject to change without notice. The qualified mortgage concept is part of Reg Z and provides a degree of certainty protection to lenders against certain legal claims. Now, in our previous video, we talked about the ability to repay rule. Well, qualified mortgage goes hand in hand with the ATR rules. So what that means is a loan must follow the ATR rules to be a qualified mortgage. Now, there's two types of qualified mortgages. First is the safe harbor. So for a loan to be a qualified mortgage and to qualify for safe harbor, the loan APR can be no more than 1.5% over the average prime offer rate if it's a first lien. Now for a junior lien, for it to qualify for safe harbor, then the rate can be no more than 3.5% over the APOR. The second type of qualified mortgage is something called rebuttable presumption. So that means the loan, to be a qualified mortgage, has to meet the ability to repay requirements, but it can have an APR higher than the safe harbor thresholds. So what is a qualified mortgage? Well, to be a qualified mortgage, the loan has to have a standard amortization schedule. So no negative amortization and no interest-only payments. It has to have principal and interest payments. A loan term less than 30 years. Also, any related monthly mortgage payment obligations have been calculated based on the full principal and interest payments and the maximum interest rate for the first 5 years of the loan. Also, to be a qualified mortgage, the borrower's assets and income must have been verified prior to closing and should not include the value of the subject property. Next, the borrower's debt-to-income ratios cannot exceed 43% unless certain guidelines are met. Also, a qualified mortgage includes a mortgage that has a balloon payment only if the loan is made by a small creditor and the property is in a rural or underserved area and must meet additional guidelines. A loan is also a qualified mortgage if points and fees paid by the borrower do not exceed certain thresholds. So for example, for a loan amount that is greater than or equal to $102,894,000, the points and fees on that loan are maxed at 3% of the loan amount based on the loan amount being greater than or equal to $102,894. Here are the additional thresholds. Loan amounts between $61,737 and $102,893 are capped at $3,087. Loan amounts between $20,579 and $61,736 are capped at 5%. Loan amounts between $12,862 and $25,778 are capped at a flat rate of $1,029. And loan amounts between 0 and $12,861 are capped at 8% on max points and fees based on that loan amount. So if we boil everything down to what does this really mean? What this really means is that as long as a lender follows the 8 factors or considers the 8 factors within the ability to repay rule, and the mortgage fits into these guidelines that I just showed you here with the qualified mortgage, what that means is as long as they follow those guidelines when they're underwriting a loan and they're extending credit to a borrower on a closed-end mortgage, it means that if a year down the road, 2 years, or however long down the road, the borrower defaults on the mortgage or they go into foreclosure, the borrower does not have the right to come back and sue the lender and say, hey, you gave me a mortgage or you extended credit to me knowing that I could not afford to pay it. The lender basically has the right to say, no, that's not the case because I followed the ability to repay 8 factors and it fell into this qualified mortgage guidelines. So therefore, I did my due diligence as a lender. I was sure that you were able to repay the loan, so therefore you cannot sue me. That's really what all of this boils down to. Well, there you go. That was a refresher for you on the ATR and the QM rule under Reg Z. And that's all for this video. Thanks so much for watching. For more tips and videos, please visit campusmortgage.org and look for our weekly mortgage tips and videos designed for all mortgage professionals, including underwriters, processors, loan officers, closers, and post-closers. We'll see you next time. Have a great day.